No study.
Good afternoon, class 7, and a warm welcome back. So,
Your voice is very low.
my voice is very low. Okay, just hold on a minute. Let me try.
Where?
I have increased.
Volume
Yes,
is at
ma'am, it has
100.
become a
This
little
is
low,
okay, this is okay. Yes, now it is
Little
okay.
low, not that low.
Acha, maybe due to network issues. Okay, first thing is, so I'm shifting your, I'll send a mail again, shifting your exam date from 7th to 11th. 11th, this time the geography test will be again in 2 parts. I'll keep 1 hour for the test, 1 full hour for the test. First half, everybody will join the class. I'll note it in the mail. I hope the history mail has been received by everyone. So first, everybody will join the class. You will write down the answers to the questions that will be shared on screen. You will finish the writing part, and then for geography also, I'll keep a MCQ part. After you finish writing the answers, you will go to the MCQ part and answer the MCQ questions. So you will have to complete the full thing within 1 hour, and accordingly the paper will be set. Atmosphere and weather and climate both will be included in the exam. Now, one more thing, diagrams are very important. So I'll tell you, from atmosphere, view all the diagrams. I'm not saying all diagrams are important. I can give you any diagram and ask a question related to that. Like, suppose I give you this diagram and ask you, this is related to which phenomena? What phenomena is this showing?
Ozone depletion.
Ozone depletion. Now, I give you this phenomena and I ask you, what kind of heat
Convection.
is showing?
Convection.
Absolutely. Any such phenomena can be given to you, even though you are not asked to draw it. For drawing and practicing, again, layers of the atmosphere is an important diagram. This heating through convection is important. Ozone layer depletion, greenhouse effect, we will not ask you to draw, but picture-based questions can come. Okay, next, from weather and climate, once again, this one, Stevenson screen, 6S maximum and minimum thermometer, 6S maximum and minimum thermometer, basic drawing, a U-shaped tube with the bulbs and the labeling, that much is important. Stevenson screen drawing will not come, but diagram-based questions can come. Isobars, isotherms, isoheights. I'll tell you what is isoheights today. Isobars, isotherms, isoheights. All this, again, this will not come. No drawing will come, but maybe giving a diagram-based question can always be asked. Okay, next, coming to this one, with air pressure, the aneroid barometer, this diagram will not come. No basic labeling of the scale and of this box, just the labeling, know it, and know, what is this, just know the figure. For diagram, practice this one. If I ask you to draw, then I will actually ask you to draw the simple barometer only. But for this one, know the labeling and the uses, everything. Is that clear? So that much you need to do.
Now, one question, actually, one question, so ma'am.
When will be the geography assessment?
11th of February. I'm shifting it from 11th because of Saraswati Puja. Many people have puja at their home now, so they will not. Tell.
I mean, Google actually searched a picture for an Android running barometer. So, ma'am, actually, I got something like a stopwatch type of a shape.
That is only
not a box.
It shows the speed. It's like a speedometer type. Sorry, it's like the pressure. It shows what is the pressure. I don't know, have any of you, if you have visited the doctor, have they ever checked your pressure? You will see they put it on your hand and they...
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. The
Person is so tight
and the pressure bar it comes.
That's very tight.
The blood pressure is high or low.
the pressure is high or low. In the same way, the air.
And that is very accurate. That is very accurate.
Absolutely, that is why the doctors are using it. So you will find it to be very common. So this is something. So for this one, you need to. Now, wind vane, I can tell you to draw anytime in a simple way, wind vane, and anemometer, maybe drawing that vane might not come, but anemometer, labeling and all, just know that these are the 4 cups, and there is a speedometer attached at the bottom. Wet and dry bulb also, drawing will not come, but based on the diagram, questions can come with a picture. Drawing important is a rain gauge. Practice the drawing of a rain gauge. Okay, so rain gauge is an important instrument. So for drawing, simple barometer, rain gauge, wind vane with that arrow, where is the tail pointing, where is the head pointing, that one, and this one, 6 is maximum and minimum thermometer, layers of the atmosphere, and convection current. These diagrams, drawing practice the drawing also, and the rest of the diagrams, look at the diagrams, look at the labelings, and identification or label one part, like that type of questions can come. Hope this is clear to everyone.
Can we use a ruler for the diagrams?
Absolutely.
Like a ruler?
Ruler is always allowed. Drawing a diagram with a pencil is always allowed. After you finish drawing the diagram, labeling should always be with a pen. Remember, labeling, do not keep it with a pencil. Always do, this is in boards also, do the labeling with a pen. Diagram you can always draw with a pencil. Okay, so if
outline with a black pen or something.
absolutely, you can draw a very nice if you give an outline, and then you need to name the figure. Fig showing. So 2 very important tests, two very important thing. All the videos should come by this week. I'm extending a little bit by Friday. Within Friday, if I don't get the videos, it will not be good.
Thank you, ma'am. I was planning to shoot the video.
Thank you, ma'am.
I am just.
And by today, I will
Thank
send
you very much.
Friday
And
we
ma'am,
send history
what
project.
happened?
And ma'am, history project, please can you extend like that only Friday?
No, why?
No, ma'am, today is okay.
Should be able to send me.
History project is very small.
I have actually
Ma'am, I have sent you my history project.
Ma'am, so you will not cut marks, right, if we send after today?
No.
Now, one question, ma'am.
He said,
How much
obviously,
actually has the video length be?
Could you please repeat the test date?
Ma'am, we
I
can't
was lagging. I got
date.
locked out.
I'll send a mail. Test date is 11th of February. I'm shifting the date so that there is no confusion. Geography test will be minimum of 20 marks because a part will be in Vicon, which will be MCQ. A part will be writing answers. Repeating, first join the class, then solve the paper first, then do the Vicon part, then take pictures and send me. I'll be there on that Friday. I'll be there in class, so don't worry. I'll share
10 marks for writing and 10 marks for Vicon.
minimum. 10 marks minimum for writing, 10 marks minimum for Vicon. That is why I'm giving you 1 hour time. So prepare and come accordingly. And Vicon will be MCQ, just like class 10. So 4 options with a question, MCQ based.
So on 11th, we have the geography test and history.
History on Monday, 14th. Okay.
When will the order start?
And 7th, no class, either history or geography. 7th, I am keeping for revision. For geography, the work that I'm giving again for 7th, you will see in the work set, lots of application-based questions are there. You all can practice solving those questions by looking into your book. And, in case you have any major questions, you send it to me. I will look into it. I'll try to look into it on 10th, that is Thursday, and help you out if possible. Okay, so try to solve those question answers, practice application type questions, and by then your project should be over. Right? So this is about geography assessment. With this, a major part of geography will be over. Maybe a little will be left. So I'll do that weathering and soil formation after this. That will be a brief chapter, not in detail. I'll tell you what to do. Now, last part of the chapter, weather and climate, that we are about to.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, will 4th be a holiday? 4th means Saraswati Puja.
No, 4th is not a holiday. Because Saraswati Puja is on 5th.
Fifth.
You have the entire day of 5th.
Why is the 4th mark red in my calendar?
What?
It's holiday. 4th February.
4th February.
Fourth is a Sunday.
No, 5th
No, 4th.
Sunday.
5th is a Saturday. 5th is a Saturday.
No, ma'am, 5th is a Saturday.
5th is a Saturday.
In my calendar, 4th was marked red. It's a holiday. I was thinking that only.
No. If it would have been, then the school office will only send you a mail, or I will
Okay, ma'am.
inform you if I get any advanced prior notice. Now coming to
So
the
one thing, another ma'am, do we need to actually like get any diagram of the clouds, like columns, nimbus, or something like that?
no.
Like,
Drawing will not be there, but maybe I can ask you to identify, means in MCQ or anywhere I can tell you classify clouds. So you have to know the classification based on height, based on based on height, based on shape. That you need to know. Okay, precipitation is the last step. So we started first, sun's rays coming to the earth, and when the solar radiation is reaching the earth, it is heating the earth's surface. So for the insolation is the heat that is coming. For that, the temperature of the earth is rising. And if there is lack of insolation, temperature is falling. So temperature we get is a very important element of weather. Due to temperature as well as other factors are also involved, the atmospheric pressure changes, because anything that occupies a space and has a volume, it exerts a pressure. Okay, on every unit area of the earth, the air also exerts a pressure that is measured in millibar. So air pressure is the second element of the atmosphere. From air pressure and high, so in some areas there will be comparatively high pressure, in some areas there will be comparatively low pressure. Temperature and pressure are inversely related, opposite. If one increases, other will decrease. If so, and vice versa. So if one increases, other will decrease. That is, if temperature increases, pressure decreases. If temperature decreases, pressure increases. Inversely related. Now, depending on the pressure, wind movements take place. From high pressure to low pressure, always winds will blow from high pressure to low pressure. Now, the more
From that only tornadoes happen.
absolutely any kind of wind movement,
Hurricanes also happen like that only.
cyclones, all this one that we have now, this Ayla we had, and then what Amphan.
Amphan, yes.
Amphan. What happened was there was an extreme low pressure in the middle created, and outside there was very high pressure. So the wind starts circulating and moving in a circle, giving rise to a cyclone. And as the low pressure moves,
that means ma'am, like when the like
And
when
that the isotherms are circled.
like
The isotherms are circled.
absolutely
Sorry, the isobars.
isotherms, there you will see isobars are also round. The isobars are round in shape. You will see that is because you will learn about cyclones in class 8 in detail, and 9 also. There is low pressure in the middle and high pressure all around, giving rise to cyclones, giving rise to any type of wind. Be it simple wind of Kalboishakhi or Lu or any cold wind.
what are the conditions for these cyclones? Like the pressure, like what is the conditions regarding pressure?
The condition,
For the
pressure condition to develop is always related to temperature, heating of land and sea. It's a complicated phenomena, but it all deals with temperature and heat formation. Okay, so very simply saying, you people are too small. I cannot remember in my childhood there was a time when it used to rain during the winter months. Okay, there was no time when winter should, in India at least, winter season now it should have clear skies. But now we are seeing quite frequently rainfall is taking place. Do you know there is another rainfall prediction coming? Maybe on 4th, 5th and around Saraswati Puja there can be rain. So all this rainfall, why?
On Saraswati Puja only.
On Saraswati Puja only, and that made me very sad. And then we have our family dysfunction. So it's one of my cousin sister's wedding. So we don't want rain anymore. We want to enjoy. So that is one thing. And this has happened like this, that why is, during winter also these things, this is much related to global warming and climatic change. India's climate, there was a pattern of weather through which the climate was determined of India. But now we are seeing that there is a change in that pattern that is coming over, for which winter rainfall is happening in places that are close to the sea because of the high heat. So always remember this pressure is related to temperature. So when pressure, the pressure difference develops, wind movement takes place. We use instruments like wind vane and anemometer to measure these. Wind vane tells us the direction. Anemometer helps us get the speed. This is clear. Now, wind, high temperature, wind, we discussed this, but due to high temperature, another thing that happens, insolation is responsible for another thing, that is evaporation from water bodies. When evaporation takes place, there is humidity or water vapor in the atmosphere, the level of which increases. Okay, when it reaches 100%, when relative humidity reaches, we call it humidity. So when relative humidity reaches 100%, then we say that the air is filled with water at a particular temperature. And then what happens is cloud formation takes place. So after evaporation, the next step is condensation. Clouds are formed in the sky. When the clouds become big and they have enough amount of water, they cannot hold, the air cannot hold them anymore. The air is unable to hold them anymore. Then due to Earth's gravitational pull, the water comes down back to Earth in the form of precipitation. Now, condensation, you all can say, there can be other types also, but we are not getting into the details. You will learn this in class 9. I am talking about clouds, but condensation can be in the form of fog. It can be in the form of dew. If you ever go for
Hail.
in the morning. Yeah, tell Soham, what are you saying?
Ma'am, I was telling that hail is also a form.
Absolutely. Hail, fog. If you see, we say,
There are hailstorms also.
have you heard?
Hail is, I think, precipitation.
No, these are forms of condensation. We will not.
No, ma'am, hail.
Oh, hail is a form of precipitation. Yes. Hailstorm, we say. Condensation is when we have fog, when we have dew drops on grasses early.
Ma'am, in winter, when we go through grasses, we feel wet.
We feel it to be wet, and many times we collect it and we think it to be very good. In Bengali, we call
This year the fog was very low.
Ha!
This year there was no fog.
And in Delhi,
Yes.
what is happening now?
So in the morning, early morning, there's fog. Like,
There
So
is
can I say something, ma'am?
where
Can I
condensation
say-
is taking. Why is early morning there is fog? Because condensation is taking place at a lower height, at a lower altitude. When there is condensation, clouds are formed high above in the sky, at least 3 kilometers from the Earth's surface. But when condensation takes place at the eye level, why does condensation take place at the eye level? Because temperature come down. When air temperature falls, evaporation takes place when temperature is high. When temperature comes down, gas to liquid, liquid to solid, all these you have learned now, change of state of water. So you must remember this, when temperature,
Meaning that when gas
the
liquidifies
humidity
into fog,
changes to water.
the
Water drops.
vapor changes to water droplets. So when droplets of water forms at the eye level, we call it fog. And now what is happening in Delhi and all, there's something called smog, smoke plus fog, which makes the it's highly polluting and it's
It
very
is very dangerous.
And you know,
We
ma'am,
can't see a
this
single
Wed-
thing.
and this
I went to
Wednesday
Delhi
actually,
once.
and this Wednesday, like after our class, like a program, I was playing in the during the evening. I'm playing in the badminton in the terrace. I happened to be there on the terrace. Happened to be there around 5:40. We came down that time. Before coming down, I saw like very windy that day, and then like a South City, everything could be seen from our terrace. Like everything is covered in fog except those little headlights. Everything is covered in fog, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
hampers our visibility.
Even I saw that.
That day it was like very foggy.
Formed at a lower level, so it hampers, and it also causes in Delhi, Delhi, Kolkata also, if the pollution level increases and if there is a lot of condensation taking place at a low altitude at our eye level, it causes lots of accidents also. It makes the roads accident prone because we cannot see anything properly.
And it makes the road slippery as well. Slippery during this.
Not very slippery, but yes, to some
A little bit.
visibility is the main thing. When you can't see, then
Ma'am,
that's why road accidents are very common in winter in Delhi and all those areas. Very common it has become.
and sometime you will see that when you go to fields at 8:30 p.m. that all the fields will be the grasses will be
Yes,
wet.
I go to cricket in the morning. My shoe always, everybody's shoe always gets wet.
That is due. So all these are forms of condensation, but you focus on clouds for now for your test. Now, precipitation. Now, precipitation, we are measuring it into, there are two things that you mainly need to know for now. Precipitation, if it is taking place, there can be two types for you all to remember. One is rainfall. If the water vapor has converted to water drops and the temperature of the atmosphere, we can measure the temperature of the atmosphere. If the temperature of the atmosphere is above 0 degree, above the freezing point, then the water vapor turns into drops of water and it comes down in the form of rain. But in many places, like in the temperate zone, like in the frigid zone, all these areas, also in high altitude, what happens is, instead of becoming drops of water, it converts to drops of ice because the temperature of the atmosphere
Snowfall.
lower than 0 degrees Celsius. 0 degree is the freezing point. So absolutely, if the atmosphere's temperature is lower than 0 degree, it comes down in the form of snow. If it is above 0 degree, it comes down in the form of rain. Whatever it is, so precipitation is always measured, and measurement of precipitation is extremely important. Why I will tell you, because through measurement of precipitation also, many other things are taken into consideration. Many other things, like if there is heavy rainfall, the meteorologist predicts a flood situation can arise. Flood warnings are given. Then people from the lower areas are evacuated and told to go to higher grounds. They measured that whether if this much of precipitation is taking place, is there any chance that if there is a river nearby, can it overflow? If it overflows, will there be a flood? Is there any risk to any dams? You have read dams in energy and power. So if the dam's reservoir is filled, then you have to open the gates. What are the chances of flooding? So it becomes very, very important to keep a measure of how much of rainfall is taking place, for which the instrument, a rain gauge, is used. And rain gauge is nothing but a simple instrument which has a jar where the water is collected, a funnel on top of it, a narrow funnel, and it is kept, total thing is kept under a longer jar. Now this longer jar is used because of one reason. Have you ever seen water fall on ground? Have you seen that water falls and then splashes up?
Yes.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
you
So like when the water
Yes,
falls,
ma'am.
it doesn't come out. It stays in the glass.
Exactly. So, a big bowl or a flat beaker is not used. We can say that why not use a flat tray? Why not use a normal bowl? Because many times water has a tendency of flashing up and and coming up, or some water may fall here and there, but we don't want that. We want whatever precipitation is coming, that that should get into the jar without extra water getting into it or any kind of misreading. We want our measure of precipitation to be as accurate as possible. Hence, this longer jar and the funnel, this helps. If the longer jar, if there is any precipitation or if there is any splashing from the ground, it will never go up. That is why never a flat tray type of thing or any such thing is used. So it's a container with a narrow mouth and on which the funnel is kept so that the water gets in, and there is a long jar like this. After the rain ends, whatever water has been collected is transferred to a measuring jar from which we get how much centimeter, millimeter of what rainfall has taken place. One big precaution is we must never keep a rain gauge under a tree or a building. Can you tell me why?
Because then the actual amount of when the actual rain will not happen, it will fall through the tree or through the
Or the rain can get blocked, or like there can be drips.
Can't be measured.
You will write, it will give us wrong measurements or inaccurate measurements or incorrect measurements. Even what happens for trees and houses and all, many times water is collected. Have you seen that on tree leaves the water is there? Now rainfall has stopped, but still if you go under a tree, you will find some drops of water falling on your head because the water is still falling from the tree leaves, even though rain has ended. So if you keep it under a tree or a house or a shade like that, then we will never get accurate readings. So we must keep it in an open space, away from any such thing from where water can just fall into it after the rain has ended or so that we can get as accurate a reading as possible. So that is one big precaution, one main precaution, that is it should be on a flat ground. It should not be up and down. If the bottle is tilted, some water falls, this, that. So the ground should be level, plain ground, and away from buildings, trees, or any such obstruction. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
next
ma'am.
I'll discuss a little bit more about sums and
Is the test on 7th and 11th, ma'am? Before the class ends, 7th or 11th?
studied